At first, it seemed like just another night on tour. Another song, another lucky fan, getting Taylor's 22 hat. But what happened after this moment left the entire world in tears. The energy in the stadium was electric. 70,000 fans screaming, singing, hands in the air, hoping to be the one Taylor noticed. Some held up signs, others danced wildly, desperate to stand out. But in the middle of it all, there was one girl who didn't try to be seen. She wasn't waving her hands. She wasn't jumping. She wasn't even standing. Her name was Ally. And for her, this concert wasn't just another show. It was a miracle. 5 years. That's how long Ally had been fighting for her life. 5 years of hospital beds, chemo, and surgeries. 5 years of doctors telling her what she couldn't do. At just 11 years old, Ally was diagnosed with stage 4 alveolar rhabdomyosarcoma, a rare and aggressive cancer that slowly took away her childhood. The treatments were exhausting, the pain unbearable. But through it all, there was one thing they couldn't take from her: her love for Taylor Swift. "I just need one more night," she had whispered to her mom. "One more night where I don't feel sick. One more night where I feel alive." And somehow, against all odds, she made it here. Her mother had carried her through the stadium doors, her body fragile, but her spirit unbreakable. She sat quietly in the VIP section, taking it all in. She knew she didn't have much time left. But she never imagined what was about to happen next. Taylor was halfway through the show. Then came the song everyone was waiting for. Every night, Taylor chose one fan to give her hat to. It was a moment every Swiftie dreamed of. And tonight, the crowd was wilder than ever, fighting to be noticed. The crowd was deafening. Fans screamed, jumping up and down, holding their signs higher, reaching out as if Taylor's hat was the only thing that mattered in the world. But Taylor wasn't looking at them. She was looking at Ally, the girl who wasn't waving, the girl who wasn't shouting her name, the girl who was just watching. For a moment, Taylor hesitated, as if something deep inside her told her this was different. Then, without a word, she signaled to her team. They approached Ally, gently guiding her closer to the stage. The crowd fell silent for just a second, confused. Why her? Why not the fans jumping and screaming? But before anyone could process what was happening, Taylor reached down from the stage and gently placed the hat on Ally's head. And that's when it happened. Tears streamed down Ally's face. But not the kind of tears you cry when you meet your favorite singer. These were different. These were the kind of tears that carried years of pain, years of fighting, years of dreaming of a moment like this, never knowing if it would come. Ally's mother covered her mouth, her shoulders shaking as she sobbed. She knew what this meant. She knew how much her daughter had dreamed of this moment. And then, for the first time in years, she smiled. Taylor didn't say anything. She just looked at Ally, smiled softly, and walked back toward the stage. For her, it was a small act of kindness. But what she didn't know was the truth about Ally. The truth that no one in that stadium knew. For the rest of the concert, Ally never stopped smiling. She held the hat close to her chest, like it was the most precious thing in the world. Her mother wiped away tears, watching as her daughter, her baby, lived the moment she had dreamed about for years. But as the lights dimmed, and the final song echoed through the stadium, something shifted. The moment was over. The magic of the night was fading, and reality was sinking back in. The other fans would go home, wake up the next morning, and move on with their lives. Ally wouldn't. Because this wasn't just another concert for her, it was her last. Doctors had told Ally's mother weeks ago her daughter was running out of time. The treatments weren't working anymore. The hospital bed was waiting for her. But Ally had refused to let that be the end of her story. "I just want one more night, Mom. Just one more night." And now, that night was over. For Taylor Swift, it was just another show. Another hat given away. Another lucky fan who got to experience something special. She had no idea what she had really done. Then, Ally passed away on November 13th, at exactly 13:40. Taylor's favorite number had always been 13. And somehow, Ally's final goodbye had happened on the 13th day, in the 13th hour. It's like the universe knew she was special. The news spread like wildfire. Swifties across the world shared it. Thousands of messages flooded in, honoring Ally's story. Fans who had been at that concert realized they had witnessed something far greater than a lucky fan getting a hat. And Taylor? She went silent. She didn't make a statement. She didn't post about it. But at her next concert, fans noticed something different. When it was time to give away the 22 hat, Taylor hesitated. And for the first time, her hands trembled. That night, she whispered something before placing the hat on a new fan's head. No one could hear what she said, but some believe it was something special.